take us through the first day of a preseason.
Yeah, our guys had great energy. Again, just being intentional, worked their butt off this summer to get us to this point. Man, we got so much work to do, so much to clean up. But again, our guys' energy, our effort, our focus, and our want to get better is what it's all about day one, and we've got that.
What is kind of the I guess your basic game plan on day one? I mean, they're not in pads and things like that. I mean, what do you want to accomplish in that first practice?
Yeah, exactly what I just mentioned. You want to see guys that are very intentional in getting better, taking to the coaching, finding ways to get coached, coach me, coach attitude every single rep, and finding ways to strain. And again, our guys are doing that. We've got a ton of work to do. But if we will continue to be intentional in how we enter the building every day, every single rep in walkthrough, every single rep in practice, every single rep in meetings, we're going to get it done.
What about retention? How do you feel like maybe things have kind of held over from the spring and the summer meetings when you get on the field?
Yeah, our guys have retained in a really good way because they worked at it. You know, it's not like they haven't picked up the playbook since we got off the field in the spring game. And so, again, they put in the time, and we're so much further ahead than we were when we ended the spring, which that's what you want. And now it's about getting the young guys up to speed and the new guys up to speed and getting them work.
It's normal for you to welcome some of the freshmen left over from the class that enroll in June, but how different is that dynamic to have some senior transfers coming in June and getting their first practices today? How different is that transition for them?
Yeah, it is different. You know, there's a lot of newness still for, 10 to 12 of our guys, and for them understanding how we're going to do what we do every single day, that's going to take a little bit of time as we get into it. But again, I think we've got some good leadership inside our locker room that's helping with that, and we're going to continue to need that.
As the head coach, I mean, you get a lot of practice during the spring, so you've probably gotten a little bit of that out of the way. But did this feel any different for you going out there and leading a first, training camp practice?
No, I mean, there was great excitement around being able to finally get started and get going and get back on the grass, without a doubt. I think for me, day one has always been very similar from an excitement standpoint. Man, we're starting this journey together. We're going to chase it together. Now I've got the opportunity to lead the entire program, which I love and I'm thankful for.
Related to that, where did you spend most of your day today?
With the quarterbacks in the offense, as you could probably imagine.
Talk about the work that needs to be done. What do you need to see between now and the end of the month to give you confidence going into the season?
Yeah, we need to see guys strain. We need to see great physicality. We got to see us take care of the football. It's all about the ball, and then defensively, it's that fine line, right? Defensively, we got to go get the ball. So you're wanting to see some give and take, and that's hopeful for me as we go through fall camp.
Obviously, they got plenty of time to learn and get used to college classes and all that, but how big is that gap between your freshmen that got here in January to the guys that are just trying to figure out where to go on campus?
Yeah, we've got guys that understand how to run, and then we've got guys that are learning how to walk. I mean, that's really what it is. So, again, trying to get those guys up to speed. The guys that came in June, man, they had really good summers, but at the same time, this was day one for them practicing with us. So they got to get up to speed. They're finishing up finals right now, so there's some give and take with that too academically, but they're guys that are trying to do what we're asking them to do.
Throughout the summer, how have you just seen the new quarterback Blake Shapen just kind of take the reins and becoming the leader on this team so far?
Yeah, he's all about, walking the walk, every single day. Our football team won't if he won't. And so he's in the building all day, every day, spending time trying to get better, trying to encourage his teammates to get better. And that's what we got to have from him. He's done that and needs to continue to.
How are you making sure that your team continues to have their mental toughness in these heat conditions that everyone has to go through?
All you got to do is get out there and go do it, and that's the reality. I think our guys understand. We said it in the team meeting this morning. The best they'll feel the rest of the season was this morning. Those days are over. That's part of this game. It's a violent game. It's a physical game. It's hard. It's supposed to be, but we got to do a great job taking care of our body. And when we're out there, straining.
You mentioned the spring. Assistant coaches we talked to seem to express every one of their groups seem to have a good relationship with each other. Yeah. Have you seen that chemistry been built among those groups?
Yeah, well, we've been very intentional on being connected. As a football team, as groups, as units. And understanding it's a lot more about the guy next to me than it is me. And I think when we do that and we take that, we got a chance to be the best possible version of us as we can be.
back in the spring, you had guys kind of figuring out where they were going to live and unpacking boxes. Do you get a sense now that you're in fall that things are kind of getting back to normal and you guys can kind of ease into a football routine?
Yeah, I mean, routine is good for everybody, for all of us. Again, we've got 24 more practices. That routine will be really good as we go through camp. And, it's as simple as day by day, rep by rep, walkthrough by walkthrough, meeting by meeting, getting better. And that routine will be good for us.
You mentioned being on, sitting over there with the offense most of the day and the quarterbacks, and you leave it to Coleman and Matt Barnes on the defensive side. What have you seen from them leading the defense, dating back to the spring and what they've done, from a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, Coleman's a guy that's got great presence, got great leadership ability. Again, he's a guy that's got an unbelievable amount of experience in having to touch the entire team and lead the entire team and find ways to get the most out of a lot of different positions. So that's really natural for him. Matt's a guy that, again, got great energy. He's got incredible experience in calling defense, and so being able to have that balance, him supplementing and supporting Coleman with their great relationship has been fun to see.
What's something that you want to see happen on day 2 of practice?
Yeah, I want to make sure that we're doing the things that we get coached on in the meeting, we get them fixed. You want to see guys go from the meeting room to the practice field and fix whatever problem it is.
We're talking about bringing in Kevin Coleman in the off-season, the spring. What did you bring him in the spring? What did you see in him?
Yeah, I saw a guy that had the ability to have great production inside our offense. And when I called around and asked people about him, they said all the right things from mentality, toughness, leadership, who he was as a human, and he's been that. And so that's a guy I'm excited about.
Coach, I know it's day one and you're probably bouncing around a lot, but was there anyone in particular that kind of saw that stood out a little bit today for you?
No, I'll have to get in there and watch the tape. Again, our guys,
I can't hear this.
They had the right intent today.
I mean,
who's he asked about? That's Paul Jones, my good friend from On3. After the interview, I was like, you got to get a hearing aid, Paul. We got to do something here. It's like,
people are recording that, Paul.
I'm recording this. It's going to go out on the radio today. I was like, they're all going to hear you answer. But you know what? I dutifully answered his question.